today, getting the insider's perspective on all the snowboard categories. It's been incredible. Thanks for joining us. We are going to be right back, the Yeti Extreme Verbier with Ski Men. Ski Men, Andrew Pollard, Freeride World Tour legend. We are so stoked to have you in the booth with us. So we're going to take a look at the overall rankings in the ski men's category right now. It is all to play for with the title on the line. Max Hitzig.
And knew who he was after that. And then Max Hitzig has one of the coolest stories ever from the Challengers. Got a wild card, got disqualified, bumped in the next day, won. So I think he's got more wins than anyone else has ever had in free skiing. And he's super consistent too, which is, that's my biggest pride. And like, it's really cool to watch him be as consistent, but pushing it that much harder.
As you can see, that start gate, it's a lonely spot up there. There's not a lot of room even to click into your skis, looking over the edge and just getting the nerves firing as the Nar looms underneath you. We are 10 seconds away from starting Ski Men off with a bang with Oscar Mandin. He stands on the podium regularly, and when he doesn't, it's fireworks. Anyway, Oscar Mandin, the first man out of the gate for Ski Men. Yeti Extreme Verbier underway.
And he's heading down the Looker's Right Ridge, trying to find his entrance there, skiing quickly down. There's a little keyhole entrance into the face here.
So he actually took the more aggressive entrance off the top there. When we were all standing there the other day, those were two of the scariest turns that I thought you could make. Doing really quick work of it too. That is so steep up there, so gnarly.
Yeah. Oscar bringing an aggressive approach to this rider's left part of the very top of the back. You cannot overstate how steep this is as he is making his way down into the Xavier Delarue cliff and landing it perfectly. Oscar Mandin with a huge statement as the first rider out of the gate.
Carrying a bunch of speed out of there. And he's not done yet. He's lining up another feature with a big backy, landing it clean.
Yeah, beautiful skiing out of Oscar so far on this run. He's definitely taking that more Looker's Right approach at the bottom. There's a lot of good features over here, a lot of good takeoffs. Definitely some potential for some tricks.
So a bit of a setup move there for Oscar as he gets lined up above this big block of rock. Tossing a backflip, comes around, a little bounce, but he's up and clean. And look at what he did that above. Oscar Mandin backing himself over the exposure.
Unbelievable, carrying so much pace out of that super aggressive run.
Wow, that was a beautiful run for the...
No problem managing it, keeping his skis in the fall line. He's through the arch. The crowd going wild and Oscar going just as wild. All right, Andrew, let's start at the top. Oscar Mandin, you said the more aggressive entrance right off the top. It's so steep, and the judges' bars really showing how maxed out that line was.
Yeah, if you could look at that from a wide angle, it's probably one of the worst places on the planet that you could fall. And then, yep, going off the Victor de la Rue cliff, taking a little bit of a variation, going skiers left of the way that Victor hit it, I believe. But yeah, then coming over to Trickland and a perfect little whack flip off of that one. Yeah, I think very great line. Barely holding onto that landing off the Leo Slemet cliff. They might dock him a little bit for control there for not a super clean landing. But man, he's going to be stoked. Really proud of this kid for putting down such a good run.
And you can hear the crowd behind him, the score coming in. It's a 90 for the first rider out of the gate, Oscar Mandin, with a huge run. Well, what a start here to Ski Verbier. Now we are going straight back. World Tour. He had a tough start and then put himself on the podium in Georgia. This is Martin Bender, and he is on course in his backyard.
And taking some serious speed as he enters, heading over to the Looker's left of the venue, making his way around the ridge there.
Yeah, looking like he's going to go over to this one that Craig Murray and Marcus opened up a couple years ago, and we saw John Powell going left side 3 off the top. Really hard to do that on an obtuse takeoff. Perfect landing. Cruising down, he's going to come up and over the dogleg here, and now is on to the next part of the face. Big transition over that ridge.
Yeah, handling it cleanly. A great start from Martin Bender. That 360 in the exposure, and it's no let up in the steepness as Martin making his way across. Perfect airplane turn there on that right foot, just trying to get all the way across, and there's nothing easy below him. You can see the exposure as Martin makes his way into the central. There's so with another huge 360.
720. Yeah, from the dog. Unfortunately not coming clean on that one, but wow, talk about the progression of the sport. Craig Murray did a 360 off that a couple of years ago, not too long, 2018. One of the biggest moves on the Beck, biggest trick, and to see the kids come now and do sevens off the same thing, absolutely insane.
Unbelievable. Talk us through the replay here, Andrew.
So replay here, this is that Craig Murray 3 where he went for the 7. Actually got pretty good pop, but I think he just over-rotated a little bit. And the thing about that is it's a little bit flat. I remember when Craig hit it, you could just see those double brown cans smashing into the ground. Yeah, pretty flat landing off of that one. Gutted for the kid, but man, you guys should follow this kid. Like, one of the best kids around here. Always excited when I come to Verbier and get to see Martin. The
future is bright. Going for a cork 7 on the Bec de Ross. Unbelievable. The progression that we're seeing in all the categories. We saw the double backflip go down earlier in ski. Women, Martin going there for a cork 7. World champion in ski men is in the gate. We've just been on a little bit of a hold, waiting for the light. The heli's circling around. He's ready.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Dropping out of the start gate there, heading down into the dog's leg. Just keeping some composure there as he finds his way through.
Yep, and coming over here looking like he's going past the Rhine cliff. Gonna go get a piece of this Craig Murray Marcus Header side hit. Also a very fun looking feature from the top. And with the 360 to the left side, whoa, a little bit of a back slap, but regains control.
Impressive recovery there. He's making his way over into the dog's leg couloir.
You can see him passing one of the members of the safety team. There's doctors, patrollers, guides, and ski dudes all over, but they're doing their best to stay out of the rider's way.
Tidy air there as he makes his way over to the looker's right.
Oh, and we got another contender for the money booter.
Yeah, all the way across for Valley Rayner with a 360, holding on. Perfect landing in the fall line. Now Valley just trying to control the speed on that right foot as he gets all the way across. A great entrance into that area for Valley Rayner.
Yep, and there's a cool little double here off the first piece and off the second one. Same one as John Powell.
Going huge
Beautiful
there.
Landing, coming out hot. He's done. That's his first time he's ever dropped in on the Beck, and he's got to be feeling excited after that one. Couple little controllers
of this competition venue. Absolutely enormous as Valley now down and through the arch, wrapping up his first trip down the Beck from the summit. Great run there from the peak rider. All right, Andrew, we go back up to the top. Valley entering with a very solid start to this run.
Yep, and then just gets wheelied and does the best thing. Ski coaches were proud, got on the outside edge instead of the inside one. If you go inside edge up here, you will carl yourself, and you are not slowing down. And then, yeah, let's check out this one. Craig Murray hit, nice big setup, really big 360, nice and smooth. See, a little flat in that landing there, I think, but holding on to it super good. You can see those skis just flapping on down through that chunder.
82.33, so Valley Rayner into the 80s. That with run. A very, very strong campaign on the Bec de Ross. We go straight back up to the top as we are back up to the 2021 Freeride World Champion. That is Maxime Chablot, and he is ready to start his run here from the top of the Bec.
He's also our defending event champion here in the Extreme Verbier. So he is making his way into the Dog's Leg couloir, cruising past the Rayner Cliff.
And I know it looks pretty mellow from this angle up here, but you have no idea how insane it is to make turns through that pocket.
Well, one thing that really tells the tale is how much higher his right foot is than his left foot. They're standing on such a steep, exposed section. Maxime airing into that pocket with a 360, and now he's just got to manage the speed.
Nice little 360 there. Got a little bit of a cork to it, which we haven't seen off the top yet. And now he's transferring his way over into the dogleg couloir. Super steep in there. Everything looks the same.
Finding his next features. Putting together some lefts and rights. Catching some airtime there. And just keeping that speed under control.
Yeah, you can't really put your skis in the fall line unless you're willing to let go all the way, because the speed will get away from you so quickly. Maxime really technical now, coming across this enormous one, and with a 360 lands again clean.
Getting a lot of play on that cliff today. Lots of riders hitting that one and tricking it.
You're an influencer, Craig Murray. They love your line. So yeah, he's going to come over here. Looks like nice little 360 up onto that. Good use of it. Kind of skipped the cliff, though, but then coming into this bottom one. One last air, and he is out the bottom.
Yeah, big, clean.
Yeah, such a cool feeling to come down and have your friends there. This top three was pretty sick. But yeah, similar landing where they get bucked to their tails a little bit, and if you don't get over that ski, you're pretty doomed on this face. So yeah, getting kind of hung up through there, but still enough time to set the 360. It went a little bit bigger, I dare say, than some of those other guys.
That was the scariest thing I've ever done in my
and yeah, you can just see those skis. It was good snow, but it definitely looks like it's getting a little bouncy in some of those outruns.
Yeah, kind of dense. Maxime going 270 and then right into the fall line to hit his lower feature. Such strong control and an early takeoff, which allows him to connect with the transition of that. Maxime Chablot definitely showing he did his homework on the scoping of that one.
Did his homework and really delivered, putting his mind over matter. He was anxious about competing on this face today, so down onto his feet.
Score dropping in for Chablot. It's an 83, so he moves himself into second just behind Oscar Mandin, and that's an oozing style. He's got such a great spirit, the free ride spirit, I think, alive and well in Finn Billes. Standing on the top, a couple of final breaths as he readies himself for his first trip off the summit, as it is for the entire field here. And Finn Billes now dropping in on the back.
Dropping in and heading off down towards the lookers right of the venue. A super spicy entrance, looking really confident as he skis down the ridge.
Yeah, and the judges are definitely going to like this going into this other more exposed side of the face. As we saw in Fieberbrunn, they want to see the big mountain skiing on these big mountain venues, so pretty smart for Finn to get on in there.
Yeah, he was saying earlier during face check that he just felt like he kind of had to go over there to give the Beck its due. He wanted to be into the heart of it, and that is exactly where Finn Billes is sitting now. As we pull back the camera view, you can see what he's traversing above, airing off that little blade feature with a nice turn. The slough ripping down as Finn Billes just into the heart of the Bec de Ross.
And managing to handle that slough, looking pretty fluid through the central here.
Yeah, and that's a scary place to make some turns because it's all exposed. You can't really see from the wide angle, but there's a huge cliff that runs all the way across that.
There she blows, coming in on the Hollywood. Huge
First
360.
That is, Andrew, you just said a world's first. Finn Billes tossing a 360 off the Hollywood and landing absolutely perfectly. Now picking up a gutful of speed, white rooming himself. Hopefully he can still see where he's going.
Taking that one super deep, carrying so much speed here. Another three. Cross court, so smooth from Finn Billes.
Wow, well, Finn Billes coming from that slope.
So wanted to see. Been waiting for that for a long time. Ross Tester and I used to joke about spinning the Hollywood. He thought it went, I didn't. And Finn just proved that it goes. Coming in switch like always.
We are rejoicing. So talk us through this replay.
Yeah, so up at the top there, that air, it's only 5 feet tall, but man, it's a scary one. You do not want to fall. And then he actually got quite a bit of slough moving here. Really, really hard to come back across your slough like that. You can see him kind of get white room there. But yeah, I hit the Hollywood this morning, and man, there's no way I would have 360'd that. And it was sick and perfect, and it's done. That's progression right there. And the bottom one was insane, too. Look at him pop off the tails. That was nuts.
It looked like coming across on that left foot that it was kind of bouncing him, and the little wind feature before looked like it might have bounced him out of balance, but instead of getting freaked out or pushed out of balance, instead he just did a perfect laying down a statement on the Beck with a world's first, and the score is coming in, and it's going to be huge! A 93-3-3 for Finn Billis.
That was proper.
I hope the Billis fam are tuning in and going nuts right now. You can hear the gori.
But we are straight back up. Tenla Katsuno, the young Japanese rider out of Niseko, delivering some of the most memorable performances in his rookie season on the tour, and he is going out with a bunch of speed right off the summit.
In this super steep area, also heading over towards the ridge on the lookers left of the venue. He assured us he's buckled up his helmet for this run, so should come down with all of his equipment.
Yeah, and he's taken another play for this, what I'll call the jib line almost, if there is a jib line on the back. Same thing, 360 down the pipe, and yow, gaining control.
But getting almost a little high-sided there as he makes his way into the dogleg.
That ski guy had just lost some years off their life. Woo.
Yeah, he just got his feet back under him. That was cat-like reflexes for Tenla as he's now making his way back across towards... Oh, no, he's redirecting again. So Tenla now finding his way through this couloir. You can see the snow is changing a little bit as we make our way through the day. This skinny little entrance, Andrew, you called it, Craig Murray, inspiring. Most of these riders have been watching past competitions with a backflip.
Takes it huge.
Somehow he has a way of landing those things that you think he's never going to land, and he just gets away with it, man. One of the funnest skiers to watch, and one of the nicest guys.
Absolutely, a pleasure to be around. Every time you get a chance to spend time with Tenla, he's just he's kind of bubbling with free ride joy. Another big air on the lower section, a little bit backseat now, just pinning it into the fall line, and Tenla wrapping it up. Wow, well.
Inspired by it because it's the only one you can see from the top that looks appealing. Money booter.
As we go back up to the top, Andrew Pollard run us through this.
Crazy takeoff there, super steep if you guys spin, and then just full cowboy here out the bottom, and look at him almost going to the ski guide. Wow. Pulling it together though, and then resetting right here, and then maintaining his composure for the rest of the run. But you can see there's hidden sharks everywhere on this face. Like you come over a roll and he smoked one right there. And then just lining up big old backy here.
Enormous.
And then look at this, dude, so flat, gets smushed, but somehow rides away.
So a bit of a backseat landing maybe, hidden a little bit by the clouds.
Yeah, you can see on the judges' bars there, the control is going to be docked a little bit. He had that complete rodeo ride, full stage 3 there as the head touches the ground on that final air. You know, you called it earlier, Andrew, some of these landings a little bit flatter than maybe the rider's expecting when they get into the air. All smiles in the finish for Tenla Katsuno. So 69-67, dropping him into 5th. The judges having their say perfection is for, and especially when you're comparing against what Finn Billis did, where it was just letter perfect top to bottom. That's what it's going to take. This is a man who is certainly capable of delivering perfection on the Bec de Ross. He's got a couple of world titles under his belt. He's got a win on the Bec. Peak performance rider Christopher Turdell now dropping in for the Yeti Extreme Verbier.
Not surprised to see him working his way down towards the right to the spicy entrance here.
Yep, and like I said again, going that skier's right way versus where Finn just went, incredibly intimidating. It's the scariest 2 turns I've seen in a long time, and just making it look like it's nothing.
Just silky smooth turns through this super rocky and super exposed area.
Christopher Turdell with surgical precision. You can see the slough moving behind him, but he's keeping himself at a pace where it's not catching up, and now lining himself up over the Xavier Delarue, taking it absolutely huge, landing perfect, and now Christopher Turdell just looking to control the speed. He's got it under control immediately. Absolute precision here from the Swedish master.
360 there. Brings it down the fall line. He's just managing to make this run look easy when it's absolutely outrageous.
Got the grab. And yeah, he's coming over more on this looker's right side. Like I said, this terrain is really, really fun. Coming into this Leo Slemmet cliff. My odds are we'll probably see some upside down action from the man. And yeah, there we go. Big back slap.
Not a clean landing though. So disappointing.
Oh, and you can see Christopher Turdell, the body language there. He is upset as he just got bucked coming out of that backflip now over the rocks. And Christopher Turdell now down into the belly of the beast. Oh, and just getting a little bit inside there. I think maybe a bit rattled after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that run was looking easy until it wasn't.
Yeah, and really big props for going off the big side of the Zob cliff. Like, that's a super... Yeah, you might get more Turdell. If he would have won, he would have retired with all the other guys. But
well, let's look back, Andrew. This top part was just so perfect. Coming into the really difficult section.
Yeah, just super gnarly there at the top. There's so much rock below you. None of it's clean if you fall, and just making it look like it's nothing. So smooth there. That's where he shines. Then, yeah, again, the big Zob cliff into the looker's left side from where Oscar went. That's a big air. I think Mikkel is the only one that hit it before. And yeah, coming over here. Turdell actually never really does 360s, so pretty sick to see him spin it, but showing that he can hang with the kids and spin and flip.
Well, a few words there between the man in the hot seat and the man who just finished his run, a 55-point run for Christopher Turdell. Him as much as it surprised us as we are going back to the last man to win a Freeride World Tour competition, Ben Richards. Mastery of the fall line with that victory in Fieberbrunn, 24 years old, sitting in 3rd overall. And Ben, another rider, opting to go out riders left. Him and Finn were definitely scoping together, so we'll see if their lines are similar.
Yeah, let's see if he takes the same entrance as Finn. Looks like it.
Based on what he was saying this morning, I think he was going to take that same Finn entrance going around where we were talking about Turdell coming in. You can see it from there. He's got to do 2 little side steps here, and then it's like stepping off the edge of the world.
Into the abyss of the Bec de Ross.
Yep.
So Ben was saying that he's using the top of the face as a bit of a setup, and then he only considers his comp run on once he's ready to take some airtime.
Yeah, and I think that's a smart move. Kind of get yourself into position and then rip it out. Shout out to all the treble cone kids watching your coach right now, too.
Learning from the best, he's making his way down here, finding his first airtime.
And yeah, you can see that slough kind of pouring in from the right side. That's definitely a spot where you can get swooped, and he making good work of not getting pushed down those cliffs. That was a huge save.
All right, now Ben coming into the Hollywood. We saw Finn spin this. Ben taking it deep and landing perfectly, getting on the right foot just to shed a little bit of speed before this lower section. As you said, Andrew, it flattens out, but it is nowhere near flat, and you can see from that aerial view, it's still a maze of rock. Ben just holding on now, trying to control his speed.
Huge 360 there, and riding out so relaxed.
Yeah, beautiful 360 off them. Kind of just blew up the Hollywood for the rest of the day.
Well, yeah, once somebody is spun it going off it, I mean, it feels a little anticlimactic, but Ben Richards with a front flip into the finish, perfect.
And that is why he is the people's champ, folks. That's why. Yeah, and really cool to see those guys both passing off the hot seat to each other.
Yeah, exactly. From last time in Fieberbrunn to now, big hug. So here we go with the replay of Ben Richards' run.
Yeah, and looks like the slough really kind of came into play there. It seemed like Finn didn't get as much of it, but Finn also stayed a little bit to that skier's left side and was out of it a bit. And then, yeah, here's a good angle of the Hollywood. It sticks out so much further than you think it does. Such a scary air, and sick 360, kind of squeaking it around, and perfect landing on that.
Yeah, I love that. With no real lip to pop off, Ben just lifts his feet and sets the rotation the exact right amount that he needed. Such a direct line there for Finn. Here we go, the score dropping for Ben Richards. He's into 3rd with an 85. No matter what happens, we are going to see Finn Billes on the podium on the back. And there's only 2 guys to go, and this is where title intentions are starting to be in play. Marcus Gogan, if he wins today and he is worried about dropping in on the Bec de Ross. The young Whistler rider has had a stellar season on the tour, and another rider heading out here to the left and getting things started.
working his way down to the lookers right of the venue, opting for the spicy drop in here through this enormous exposure, backing himself to lay some turns above all those rocks.
Yeah, and I was talking to him. He actually wants to open up this new way to get into the central couloir that hasn't been skied yet today, which is a pretty intimidating task. So right here, he's kind of setting up to come over back to that looker's left.
Yeah, moving through the exposure around that rock circle. You can see just a slight slowdown there to let the slough clear. So Marcus showing veteran big mountain moves as he is truly into the meat of this run. Marcus Goguen now on this big exposed spine.
Airing in, riding out strong, heading over above the Hollywood. Oh, the Gilles Voirol's lift. 360, stomps.
Looking like he was trying to get his pole back into his hand as Marcus now moving across out to the rider's left. We haven't seen a lot of play in this part of the face as Marcus Goguen coming in and making his way on top of another chunky set of features.
So here we go. This is into the Macintosh nose zone, made famous by Ian McIntosh, who hit the nose on the left there. But Marcus has something else planned here, setting up, making the turn, and then he wants to double here.
Bouncing and stopping!
Wow.
Marcus Goguen with a brand new line on the Bec de Ross, and absolutely
Mole, the judges got their work cut out for him.
the second block of that triple is dead vertical, and you carry so far out with how steep it is. Marcus, the king of the sound bites in the finish line. So we go back up to the top in this huge exposure, Andrew, and Marcus just handling it.
Yeah, you can see the slough just pouring off the cliff there. He's coming down in. It's this cool little spine feature that he got onto that's actually above the Hollywood. We'll see if we get a wide angle of it. But this is the Gilles Voirol cliff. I want to say that that's only been Lincoln looped by someone, but no one's ever done a 3 off that. Yeah, lost his pole there, but this double, man. He wanted to name something on the face, and yeah, we can call this the cheeseburger. Look at the size of that thing. Oh my goodness. And how does he land that stuff, dude? I need to hit the gym.
The two biggest airs of the day, back to back. That one enormous. Marcus just catching the end and bouncing again off. He was in the air far more than he was on the ground on that one, and just making it look easy. Like you said, he's so strong, and the technique required to not be backseat. You know, 96 points for Marcus Goguen.
Wow, and it's...
Ross is what they want to see, and the two biggest airs of the day back-to-back in a double. So here we go. This is it, the last run of 2024. Max Hitzig leading the rankings. He is on course now, and Max Hitzig going in hot.
Coming into a different part of the face there, working his way past the Rainer Cliff, and looking like he's going to try and enter into the central couloir from this spicy little corridor.
Yeah, and opening up that entrance for the day, the judges are going to love that, entering right where Ben and Finn entered. And yeah, here we go.
Taking an air huge above all this exposure below him. Unbelievable.
Looking perfectly in control. Max Hitzig handling that. You don't see many people airing into the central. And now Max coming down above the Hollywood, lining it up, getting his last vision, and pumping off the Hollywood cliff with a perfect landing.
Stomping it, just taking it easy, making sure he's really strong. 360!
Big 360 there. Looks like a clean landing. We didn't quite catch it, but he's riding out strong.
And one more feature last for him to make his statement here. And going way bigger than everyone else. Oh, with a little bit of a back slap.
A little bounce there, but cruising across the flats. That is it for runs today in the Yeti Extreme Verbier. It's in the judges' hands, both the event and the world.
Long time, so really special to get to watch this with you guys. And yeah, that angle makes that look like a chill little 15-footer, but I can't even tell you how scary that would be to go that big up above the Hollywood.
Above all that exposure. Probably the best landing we saw all day off the Hollywood. Hitzig, and then directing way out here to the skier's right, floating this lofty 360.
Wow. I'm pretty speechless right now with what went down. And the only critique that you could have with the whole run was this landing right there. And he didn't really slap his back on the ground, more of a bounce. But the judges saw the bases of those skis, so.
Yeah, Victor, here we go. The score is coming in for Hitzig. It goes a 94, 6-7. Max Hitzig
saying hello to the new world champ, babe.
So Marcus Gogan taking first position here on the Beck Day roster.
On their faces, that adrenaline dump there. You see bronze medal to Finn Billis. Still see what exactly that did to our overall rankings here on the tour by Peak Performance has come to a close. Joining us on this ride.